I just wanted to come up here for a brief moment this morning while I'm sitting here getting loaded. I know we talked about last night, we talked about freight broker, we talked about dispatching. Dispatching can be a little tricky because you got to find out the mileage of how far the load. Like when you call a freight broker, you have to find out the mileage, how much time it's going to take involved to run the load, how many, and like I said, how many miles. So normally I like to start at about when I call a broker, I try to start at about the going rate. I try to start out about $1.90 to $2 a mile. All right, and you got different types of load boards that you can go on to get sets to get look at the loads. They got what you call 1, 2, 3 load board, and then you have the one called deck load board. You can always subscribe to them. There are some free load boards out there you can get to on the app also. Just depends on which one you want. Like deck load board has a standard one that's $34.95 a month, and it's just gonna be standard. It's not gonna show you the 90-day average of what the load paid. Now then they have one called the $34.95. You have the one for $49.95. The $49.95 one. It's going to have your 90-day spot. It's going to tell you what the broker was paying for that load for the last 90 days. And then your 90-day, then you have one for $99. Then they have one for the $149, $149, and that's the big one. But I kind of like to deal with I can still get the same energy from the $49.95 one. Converts to the $149. You know how they're going to try to bump it up, get more money out of it, but all of them do about the same thing. The standard doesn't give you everything that you need. I would go with like the $49.95 one on that part. And then depending on what Keon likes to run, what kind of lanes he like to run in, you have to stay continually, just talking to him like during where you at today, what you want to do tomorrow. We got you going. Well, if you're going to Alabama to drop at 7 o'clock in the morning, you see a load on a load board pulling out of Alabama. He may be in Alabama right now picking up a load. So what you're gonna do at 8 o'clock, start your dispatching off about 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when the freight brokers are on the board. They posting all their loads, and you can just go up there, hit Alabama in the search, and then put 100-mile radius at the most. If he's in Alabama, put I'd say about a 50. I would go at least about 50 to 100. I'm not gonna go over that to pick a load. That's the load got some good money on it, and then I would go get that load because it got some good money on it. That's gonna help me out to go make some money on the load. But I would just start. If he's in Alabama, you go on the load board and you say, Keon, I got a load going from Alabama, going to Florida. That's paying such and such. It's 45,000 pounds. I already talked to the freight broker. You can call the freight broker when you see that load on the board. You can say, hey, I see a load that's running from Alabama going to Florida. He's going to tell you, can you tell me a little bit about the load? And he's going to tell you about how many scraps you got to have. What do you have to have chains? Or it's a core? How much weight is on it? How much weight is on the load? Does it require tarping? Because a lot of loads don't require tarping. You might not. Do I get paid for tarping? The broker might put that in there. The broker might put it in there. Always read the confirmation of what's required by the driver after y'all book the load. So after you get the load booked, you'll call them and say, Keon, I got a load running from Alabama going to Florida. We booked this load. It's paying, I just throw a number out there, paying $1,200. Basically, since you already got your freight broker's license, then you can either get in contact with that company that you're booking that load with. That's another good idea. Anytime you book a load with a company, always when you get to that company to drop, ask Keon to go in there and talk to them about, hey, can I become a freight broker for you? That's another good idea for you. Ask Keon, can you become a freight broker? Ask him, can you become a freight broker for that company for you? So after you book the load, with a freight broker, he's going to send you a confirmation, and that confirmation is going to tell you exactly what time he has to be there, how many does he need to tarp, how much is paying, what's the weight. Read the last little blueprint, because if you don't, they're gonna say, well, you booked the load, now it's your load, you're gonna have to take it. I mean, you're gonna have to go ahead and take it. You don't want to lose the customer. So that might be a nice customer direct freight for you to start running the loads. But like I said, what I would do at every customer that Keon goes to, I would basically ask them to go in there and get some business cards made and say, look, I'm a freight broker, and I can freight broker these loads for you every day. I can run these loads for you. So after he has, I know I'm saying a lot right now. It ain't so much to learn in this, but you can do it. It takes a little time, just like getting in the car every morning, starting your car up and going down to your job every day. After it gets repetition, then it'd be like, hey, I can do this in my sleep. I mean, it took some time for me to learn it myself, but you can do it. If I did it, you can do it. So it's easy money. You can get up in the morning, 8 o'clock, dispatch your driver, book them up for about 2 days. Guess what? You're done. You good to go for that day. You good to go for the next 2 days. But after you book that load, when he drop at 7 o'clock that morning, you're on the load board for the next day already, looking for a load for him for the next day already. You're trying to basically prepare him for a load for the next day, wherever he may be at. His load might have dropped at 7 o'clock in the morning. What you're going to be doing is trying to find a load immediately. When he drop in Florida at 9 o'clock in the morning, you're trying to find some out of Florida going back up at least, I'm going to say going back up to Chesapeake, Virginia, going back to the VA or going back to Carlisle, going back to PA. Get some good money on it. So, like I said, Florida loads are kind of, they're a little skippy a little bit. A lot of times you got a deadhead out of Florida, maybe 50 miles to 100 miles to find a load out of Florida, then book out of Florida and run up to PA on some good money, on a good money load, then find some out of PA and come right back down. So basically all you're doing is find him a load from day to day, wherever he may be at. So, but I just wanted to share with you this morning about that. It's a little more information I can share with you this morning, but you can call me anytime that you think you might get stuck in a rut. But I would basically, every company that I go to, I would go in and ask I would say, Keon, get the company's information. When y'all drop that load on, if it's steel, bricks, whatever the case may be, you might have some machinery on the load, on the flatbed. I will ask them, look, I got my freight broker's license. I could broker these loads for you. If they say, well, we already got our own freight broker, then you're not gonna be able to do it. But I'm saying that even if you go into the company, ask them, can you become a direct shipper for him? Ask him, can you become a direct customer for him, where he ship with you all the time? And when you get dedicated, then you're in the game. You want to try to find that dedicated freight. When you go to the customers, Keon is the eyes of the company. When he go to these companies, hey, I got a flatbed, I can run these loads for X amount of dollars. Y'all can sit down, negotiate the rates on the run the flatbed. If Keon was getting $2.50 a mile to run a load, then you could break down a little bit, drop it down, and hey, if I can gain your company, I'll book these loads for $2.15 a mile. If I can get these every day, I take the load for $2. I drop it down to $2.25 or $2.15 a load a mile. So it's so many ways that you can get some guaranteed freight out here by just approaching the people with no fear, because fear is going to keep you from doing that. That's going to get in your way. Don't let fear get in the way. Jump over it, go around it, knock it down, and just go in there and talk to them about what you're trying to do out here. There's a lot of money out here to be made, and it's basically not enough trucks out here to haul the freight right now. So you can always fit in somewhere of a lane. You got a flatbed, he got a truck, you always can have something on the back of that flatbed. So have a good day, have a good morning, and any questions, I might have did it a little fast, but I'm just waiting to get loaded right now. But if you basically and I've got them adding one more thing, you need to get get basically a nice laptop computer, and also you need a fax machine. and you gonna need a you're gonna need a open line phone. So so the people can call you on your phone, unless you just want to have them. You don't want to have business on your cell phone, because you know your family might want to be trying to butt in, they calling, and you don't want that. So you want to have a computer set up, and you want a fax machine set up, because you got to fax papers. You got to get your money. You got to get your they have factoring companies out here that can help you get your money. Also, I think they charge been like maybe 2%, however you want to get paid, because you want to get paid as soon as you drop that load. When you drop that load, you want to get paid. You want to get paid as soon as you drop that load after you get paid. And you can call a factoring company to do that for you, and they can advance you money on fuel. They can advance you money on, because you got an account set up with them. And that's pretty much it. But if you have no more questions, feel free to call me. Okay, have a good day. Take care.